Welcome, listener. My subject matter is what is the cause of weakness in English in Bangladesh. Whatever is me, our forefather used to tell who are Muslim to learn English is prohibited. To learn English means to become a Christian. But our Maulana especially gave this misinterpretation, and the poor and pauper people of this land could not understand. Their suffering increased with the pace of time. That and the people of this country were oppressed, depressed, and repressed. They were oppression, depression started by so-called Englishmen, as that especially that their justice influence was going on in this country. Public in this country suffered much mentally. For starts this book you are requested to read. You can get Passage to India. In Passage to India, of course, there is getting public is suffering. We can notice the conflict between two groups, Indian as well as Englishmen. Second conflict we are getting Muslim and Hindu. Third conflict we are getting caste system problem. Fourth conflict, of course, we especially can is noticed that various kinds of superstition. This and that, of course, especially in this and that degradation came for the people of this land. And our forefather used to tell Muslim forefather to learn foreign language. English means to become a Christian, but Christian Hindus is the forefather priest. Hindus is sophisticated is a person, of course, they could understand this matter. Though English civilization had gone leaving the country, ruling especially this country 190 years, but their language is important. For this reason, this subject on language is practiced in our neighboring country deeply, and they have written many books for the market, for arts, commerce, science. The Sagasas is the writer of Calcutta University, Madras University, Bombay University, and countless university and university colleges. Other Sagasas is the guys, of course, it is getting Ramjilal Babu, Shen Babu, Tilak Babu, Raghukul Tilak, and other is the Babus we are is getting, and many other writers is the book which are that is seen in our country, Bangladeshi market, like Nilkhet, and of course there is getting that is called as the Rajshahi, Shai Bajar, and different district of this country. Their books are overflooded, and Bangladeshi students are reading the books. Of course, they cannot but read the book. However, might be English is special administration that disappeared, but they lived their language, and we are bound to justice, especially follow their language. Pakistani administration came. Separation also came, properly in the year of 1900, especially 47, but Pakistani administration came, and their behavior is with Bengali people who are living here at present Bangladesh, of course, like a stepmother. But the person, especially if they pass Pakistani people SSC matriculation examination, they would get better job. On the other hand, the graduate of this country, honors degree holder, master's holder, they are not given any good job. In banking section, especially that is called as the best post or is given to them. In army section is the best post or given to them, to their people. And in navy section, not only this police section, navy section, other sector and section is especially, they are is given best job, appropriate is a job. But the people of this land, in spite of having qualification, they are not given especially good job. Of course, your Passage to India, read the book, you can get this especially deepest idea. Dr. Aziz is a famous person who was expert in surgical action and who was a student of Calcutta Medical College. Calcutta or England, probably England is especially from England. He completed his MBBS degree. This particular gentleman was true Muslim, very good and gentle, polite and magnanimous. When that school performing his hospitality duty, he used to justice especially that school, say his prayer, staying especially in the mosque. He was so gentle, so polite, so magnanimous, and especially he was very religious, minded person. But in West India, that year is getting conflict is grew by the net of conspiracy of some Hindu personality that especially Mr. Aziz is molested at Lakwi state. But obviously, the discourse is in Malabar is a cave, but Mr. Aziz did not enter into Malabar cave because he was Muslim. We can notice Stella entered into Malabar cave. Mrs. Moore, mother of especially Stella, mother of Ronnie Hislop, entered into that particular Malabar cave, and especially Stella entered where is pending, and Mrs. Moore entered, Adelaide State entered, 3 ladies. And especially I should share with you something. Mr. Aziz used to speak with them since they were the guest of India, but he would not pass his time like English, especially civilization. He did not enter into the cave. But false cases he was set up against Mr. Aziz, of course, there is getting. Mr. Aziz especially became hurt, surprised. He could not understand this matter even in dream. How can Adelaide State can't say such kind of a sentence? I am qualified as a person in the society, MBBS degree holder, government service holder. Though my wife has gone, is dead, I can easily marry a lady. In this country can't start my conjugal life. So I did not marry anyone for thinking about the future of my sons. My 2 sons are staying to my grandmother. But how can she say such kind of special ugly sentences? But Adelaide State changed her mentality out of hallucination, misunderstanding. This particular lady uttered such kind of ugly language where is getting. Last time is the final. Adelaide State is especially the school said, I beg your pardon, Mr. Aziz, I did wrong. You did not enter into the cave at all. How can you just touch me? On the other hand, I know you are a true Muslim. A true Muslim especially does not touch the body of any other ladies except his wife. So, you are especially, that is called by birth, you are gentle, polite, magnanimous and generous. You have religion. In your religion, there is no any way on the part of especially any young men and women to touch each other, to embrace each other, without especially being married, etc. Therefore, the mistake is what I did. For it is I beg pardon. So Aziz was very generous person. He pardoned. Stella Justice, you are getting, you married a man, you are getting Mr. Fielding. A principal local is the government college, but he tried his best to solve the problem. Stella married is especially that Mr. Fielding, but after her marriage, she could not love her husband, could not like her husband. Such kind of conflict is seen in this book. Of course, there is getting many people who are poor and pauper among Hindu, among Muslim, among Christian, among especially this and that Burua, among ethnic people. They were grinding, especially in the grinding machine because of property crisis, suffering through distress, agony, pain. In this and that, since they are deprived of their fundamental right from the society, their children are also deprived of fundamental right of the society. Their children also suffered the mass. As you know, COVID-19, many people of this country who are serving, and especially that private jobs, and many of them who lost their job, of course, and by losing their jobs, I should share with you something. Their suffering is the mass, and for this reason, since they have to return to their own houses, own localities, their children stop their education. But I should share with you something. Of course, the children who are student of class 5 or 4 or 3 or 2, automatically after some years they will forget especially English language, and even there is a possibility on the part of especially student of class 2 to forget Bengali. Top to bottom. For not practicing especially Bangla subject 2 years, long 2 years in the period of COVID-19 because of poverty, they were bound to just come forward from their own houses and quarters to start their journey to earn for their families. Of course, we cannot deny. In the meantime, of course, parents became very helpless and they could hardly maintain the family, let alone especially bear the expenses of their education. For this reason, this group of students especially became weak and tired, linguistically, phonetically, linguistically, of course, it is getting really frankly. This thing started is especially from the period of course, it is getting, and in the year of 1757. This thing continued is especially here and there, of course, it is getting. Another suffering misfortune is came for the people of this country. In my past videos, I reveal something. As you know, first is World War came over the people. Rich people, of course, especially took their sons and daughters to best school of the world, best places, of course, poor and pauper, they could hardly maintain their family, let alone gaining education. In the and that, of course, especially so many people fought against the poverty, crisis, suffering, sorrow, distress, agony. Some of them, especially changing their financial position, is send their sons and daughters to school, but especially their sons and daughters had already forgotten what they learned in class 1, 2, and 3. Because of deprivation, because of suffering, because of sorrow, because of agony, because of pain, because of mental pain, because of special economical crisis, because of food, because of disease, because of other special distress. Of course, you are getting freely, frankly, sincerely. In the and that another is a group of people, students, of course, became weak in English is a subject that you are getting. What about might be? First World War, especially that scholars had gone, and during some special that scholars throughout the whole world we can listen is another is ringing of Second World War, whistle of Second World War, which is special also came in the and that especially this second issue World War. Of course, shallowed is our peace and prosperity, happiness and joy, stability, economical stability, mental stability, social stability, political stability. Of course, it is getting to get is a normal life. Because of especially that is called bombing, so many people who lost their hands, so many people who lost their other parts of the body, so many people who became a burden of the family, so many people who could earn nothing, so many people had to stay that is called beside the road or street, so many people had to depend or other for their survival, so many people had to work especially hard here and there to get their survival, to survive in mundane world, to keep body and soul together. So many people who had to go to just different places of the world for the sources of earning. Their sons and daughters were employed in the that is called not battlefield but very field. Not battlefield but very field. Not battlefield but special jute field. Not battlefield but sugar cane field. Not battlefield but special crops fields. The children especially used to work their own, and their daughters had to work of course with their sons. In each and that especially all of them is desperately running in order to get their livelihood, let alone education. In this section is especially that is countless students who are deprived of gaining education in Bengali, let alone is foreign language. This is another is the cause for being is special weakness of Bangladeshi students at present. This influence especially that is called came one after another. Of course, I do not wish to blame any teachers of this country. I do not wish to blame especially any guardian of this country. I do not wish to blame special government of this country. I do not wish to blame special education system of this country. I cannot especially that is called blame is the other person who are performing their task connection befitting is the manner. I cannot especially blame is the person who are performing their task connection to make. I mean especially that national is who are organizer, maker, national is textbook board you are getting, they are not responsible, especially this and that Another suffering was eagerly waiting for the people of Bangladesh, of course, and especially net of conspiracy of Pakistani people started. And Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the then especially founder, the then especially dreamer of Bangladesh, especially pioneer of this country, wanted to justice, especially that is called free the people of this country from especially that is called slavery. Death is better than slavery. For this reason, the people of this country had right to get freedom, but some Pakistani justice administrators, of course, who were more ugly than butchers, whose nature especially where is more ugly than those is the person who are staying in different especially forbidden is the places of Bangladesh and other places, especially who are the senior broker, junior is the broker, international broker, national is the broker, especially who are loose moral is the person in the society who are kidnapper, hijacker, snatcher, and women especially trafficker, etc. This and that. Of course, I should share with you something. The state is especially the people of Pakistan, in order to start their battle. Of course, the people of Dhaka, cosmopolitan city, metropolitan city of this country, are sleeping on that particular time. Especially Yahya Khan, the then president of this country, I mean Pakistan, who made the country into Goristan graveyard. Shooting started. Innocent people of Dhaka University, professor of Dhaka University, especially teacher of other places of this country, they were gunned down. The intellectual people, of course, especially Yahya Khan said, destroy their communication, destroy their special education institution, destroy especially their intellectual people, and molest their ladies. Molest their ladies as far as you can, and speech torture them physically, mentally, sociologically, psychologically, geographically, politically. This man-shaped beast Yahya Khan is no more in mundane world, but especially his decision, his version, his thought and conception, his darkest ideology, his darkest thought is still prevailing in the mentality of our generation who are surviving in mundane world. Whatever might be, this especially catastrophe became another suffering for the people of this country, and Sheikh Mujibur Rahman got, I told in my previous videos, war torn country. And where is their books, where is their khatas, where is their reading room, where is their special dwelling house, where is their eating center, where is their sleeping special bed, where is their school, college, university, madrasa, etc. Where special everything were damaged in this 9 months. 9 to 10 months is especially suffering. Also justice came. The oppressor, depressor, repressor, of course, and especially tormented over the people of this country. Misperson especially became crossed the Pacific Ocean. Bottomless suffering came for the people of this country. Public especially lost their life. Many of them became crippled. Many of them lost their husband. Many of ladies lost their nearest and dearest one. Many that is called housewife lost their husband, sons and daughters, etc. And many of them especially became totally orphan in this country. And many of them had nothing to just perform in this country, of course, is getting. So how can they study, how can they acquire knowledge on that particular time? It is another cause for especially being weak in this subject that you are getting. Dear listener, I do believe this matter, of course, is getting years after years, decade after decade, century after century. The people of this country have to suffer much. They have to shed tears. They have to just especially shed their blood. They have to sacrifice their lives. They have to especially face difficulties. They have to face suffering, sorrow, distress, agony, pain. They have to do especially various kinds of perverted transconnection. They are bound to justice, especially perform their slavery. They are bound to sacrifice their life. They are bound to justice cross ocean of especially blood. So many women especially who are to lose various kinds of mental suffering, physical suffering. So many women especially that their torture especially was so serious, even the devil will be ashamed watching their activities in action. Pakistani administration, of course, is getting at present. Pakistan has become a Goristan, and foreign visitors are not interested to go to Islamabad for visiting purpose. Of course, so many people, of course, are afraid of this country. The conspirator, I think, mostly are not live in mundane world, who are army of Pakistan, tortured Bangladeshi women, some Rajakar brokers of this country. They also assisted them to especially molest countless ladies of this country, and to dishonor countless ladies of this country, and even many pregnant ladies are especially that is called kicked to death. Many men and women are that is called fired by making line. Public life became insecure, suffering, sorrow, distress, agony, pain became their nearest and dearest relative. They started to throw bombs, not only in Bangladesh but also India. Honorable speech Indira Gandhi, we are especially grateful to her we pray for the salvation of his departed soul. This particular is honorable lady came forward in order to help the people of this country by giving them guerrilla training. And in this and that, like a mother of countless children of Bangladesh, she assisted on that time, and we are totally, absolutely, completely grateful to her. We are special, that is called getting Rahul Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi especially had contribution. He was very easy natured person. His contribution especially, that is called in the field of education, other religion, other sector and section is uncomparable. And especially Bangladesh got freedom for the supreme sacrifice of Indian people. Bangladesh is got freedom for the supreme sacrifice of countless mother. Bangladesh is got freedom for the countless, especially people's supreme sacrifice of their own lives. In this and that, we got our independence. Our children is especially became deprived of gaining education, and their weakness is started again. This and that, of course, there is getting how long a plant can be transplanted here and there. If it is especially a plant is changed to transplant, especially that is called here to there. I need to share with you in Bengali sentence. একটা গাছকে যদি 10 বার একবার তুলে তুলে লাগানো হয়, 10 একটা গাছকে যদি 10 থেকে 15 বার একবার তোলা হলো, গাছটা তোলা হলো, খুঁড়ে ফেলা হলো, আর জায়গায় লাগানো হলো, আর জায়গা থেকে আর জায়গায় লাগানো হলো, এভাবে যদি 10 বার চেঞ্জ করা হয় গাছটা মারা যাবে। Similarly, justice especially I should share with you something, especially foreign languages. See what we learn to see, this language became especially update. This language especially became update, of course you are getting, and this language is at present fighting for its existence. To get its existence, dear listener, I am optimistic to discuss inshallah after Maghrib prayer. May the mercy of Almighty come on us about the cause of weakness in Bangladesh.